like, pretty optimistic between Schuster and Kalorn. I think they're coming back on Thursday.
Yeah, everybody's looking to be on track. As I said, we're hoping to get most of them back. We're not getting everybody back, but we're definitely going to be healthier Thursday than we were when we finished the season, so that's a good sign.
He said Coburn would be iffy this a week ago. He said he might be, but he's been skating a lot. He's been practicing a lot. I mean, is there an encouraging point there where he might be?
Yes, I would say you're. What's our terms?
Probable.
Yeah, you're probably looking questionable to probable.
For game one.
I would say he's really close. So we'll get another good battle tomorrow and make the decision then.
How has he looked to spend on the ice now for a little bit of a week?
Well, it's all timing. The one thing is when these guys get back from injury, usually they're in really good shape. They've bulked up a little bit because they're not going through the rigors of the season. So he's had 6 weeks to really get himself in big time shape. So I think he's definitely, from that standpoint, looking really good. It's just his timing. So until you get bumped in the corner and understand, game's different than practice, how much time you have, that takes a little bit. But once he gets that, he's a good defenseman this year. He's a really good defenseman on our team, and we need him. And it's just, the 4 games he was here, and we've gone through some clips and things we're watching of his game, and he was a big asset to us. So we're really looking forward to having him back.
It's got to be hard to have your first game in 6 weeks, a playoff game one.
Yeah. It's going to be a few of these guys, it's going to be their first game back. But the one thing about Kobe, he's played in a Stanley Cup final before. This isn't his first rodeo. And I think he's going to be probably battling himself, if anything. He's probably really excited to get back and compete at the highest level on the biggest stage. And so, but we need him. We need him back there. So it's going to be good to have him back.
What are you hoping these guys with playoff experience, especially like extensive playoff experience, can bring when you guys get here?
Well, it's not so much, when that puck first drops in game one, that's really not where those guys shine. It's when things aren't going your way. Who understands, there's light at the end of the tunnel, or who can help pull guys out of it? Or if things are going extremely well, who are the guys that know to temper expectations and keep things a little bit more level-headed? Well, it's the guys that have been there before. And in the past, I don't know if we've had a ton of that in our locker room, but we do this year. And you couple that with, let's be honest, it was a short playoff time last year, but I think it was a valuable one. And I never thought I would say that when we got swept, but looking back now, I think we all learned a lot in that short time. And so we have vastly different playoff experience now than we did last year, and to have guys that have been there before and seen like so many different circumstances, it can only help us.
The 3 wins you had with Detroit in the regular season, is there a couple things you can point to and say we really did this well against them this year?
The one thing I think, like, we had the puck a lot when we beat them. And the game they beat us, they had the puck the whole time. So I think that's big for us, is when we have the puck, we're usually in pretty good shape. I think we always had our forecheck running. So there were a lot of times we had them hemmed in their own zone. Again, turning up with the puck. And I think that was probably our biggest asset of those games, was when we had it, it was good for us. And I think when they had it, especially that last game they beat us, it didn't work out too well. So that'll be a big thing for us, is get the puck out of their hands as quick as possible and make sure for as much as we can, we're going to have it. And that's the best way to keep them off the board.
Is their forecheck different or better than most that you face?
The one thing about them, like, they don't have really any holes. like they play the game so well in all three zones. They've always got numbers back. You're never really seeing them give up odd man rushes. You're never looking at their box score and sitting there saying, oh wow, Detroit gave up 40 shots again. Like that doesn't really happen. They usually limit teams to under 30 shots. There's not a ton of scoring chances. A lot of times they may not generate a ton themselves, but they've always keep themselves in the game. And I think that's why they were one of the league leaders for a long time in the least amount of regulation losses, because they just found a way at the end of the game to limit the team's chances and just get enough themselves. And so that's the tough thing about playing them is it's not going to be a run and gun. It's going to be discipline, and if you're not disciplined in all three zones, they're going to get you.
I'm sure you've answered this many times, and I apologize, but just with Jonathan's development, where have you seen?
Drouin?
Yes.
Well, he came in a junior player, and now he's a pro. And I think that's a step that everybody has to take at some point. Most guys take that step in the American League, but Joe did it in the NHL. And there's another kid he's just extremely, extremely talented. And it was just, he had to learn the pro game, how to play without the puck. And I think that's one of the things that every single player coming into this league has to learn. Because all the guys are they're savvy, they're smart, they know where to go. You have to learn the other players. You have to learn the defenseman you're going up against. And that's what he's been really good at, because he's asking questions, he studies it, and who he's going against. And I think that's why, he's probably had a quicker development that way than a lot of other people have had that have come into the league at that young an age. And so, and you can see, just his confidence now when he handles the puck is way more than it was before. And again, that's just from being in the league, and that's always taken giant strides.
If you were on the opposite side and you had to game plan against your team, what kind of matchup line and Tyler's line?
I don't know. I don't want to give Babs any secrets.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he's way ahead of me. The one thing about our team, and it's we've got a pretty deep group, I think. I think part of our success is that we just haven't been not just one line or two lines. Like we've sometimes been 4 lines deep, and it's kind of a luxury as a coach that you get caught out on an icing or something happens where you can't get your line off. Just not really that worried about it, because they've all pretty much come through in every situation anyway. And I think, if I was an opposing coach and you're looking and saying, okay, well, if I put these 2 defensemen out against these guys and he follows the next line up with this, who's going out, and then he's going to follow up with this, and by putting these defensemen back out, I don't know, that kind of works in our favor a little bit.